think I'm falling in love with my noble steed.
Is this not turning? I think at some point we have to turn right.
This is stuff that goes out of date even though it's been up on the mountains for billions of years.
I did it!
We're going to set up all of our gear, step off the back of the boat and just see a whole new world.
We found a flamingo!
I want to take one home.
I keep seeing shiny things.
Stop looking at shiny things.
Let's go!
Time on Red Seas, you saw us arrive in Bonaire and get lost on our way to Clear Inn. Then we joined 100 other divers on a clean-up dive to pick up trash under the water by the cruise ship pier. We decided to rent some electric scooters to tour the island, and somehow they let us out on the roads. After a wobbly start, we faced our fears and joined the traffic. Now we're ready to explore Bonaire.
We've just pulled over. We've been driving down the coast here and I cannot get over the colour of this water. I know that we've been diving in it already and we're living on it and yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. But then you look on the other side of the road and it's pink and there's like snow flying around. It's amazing.
Okay, so it turns out that Bonaire's kind of one of their major industries is salt, sea salt. So these are actually salt pans. This is actually drying out seawater in the sort of shallow basins that are huge. And then when they dry them out enough, they can scoop up the salt, make these mountains that look like snow. And then actually, we'll get to it, but just in the distance, we saw the conveyor belt system that loads it onto the ships. It's very cool. So I don't know if this counts as pink sea salt, pink Himalayan. It's not Himalayan.
It's definitely not Himalayan.
This is the stuff that goes out of date, even though it's been up on the mountains for billions of years.
So I haven't quite worked out the getting the bike onto the stand thing. I tried to do it here and a very nice gentleman came over and helped after he saw me struggling. You have to like lift the back of it up, but I just think I'm not quite strong enough. Anyway, right. Woo! And that's what happens. Okay, can I get it off its stand? I'm in park, can't remember how to get it ready. 95% of the battery left. We've got plenty of mileage available. Let's go!
I think I'm falling in love with my noble steed. That is some serious table salt.
I kind of want to like get a snowboard and go down the slope. Imagine if you had like a little paper cut or something on your leg though. Imagine that.
Actually, my hands are covered in cuts. Yeah, that might not be so much fun. I hadn't realized this is like quite a serious installation.
Yeah, it looks like a little roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, what I noticed is there's tons of signs saying you can dive and snorkel and swim. Well, actually saying you shouldn't because there's a boat coming in, but that suggests that you can.
Well, we're gonna have to do it now.
All right, put that one on the books.
Oh, I think I read on the scooter website that when we arrived here, there would be a pile of salt rocks and you can just take one as a souvenir. I don't know if they're like the defected ones that are like, oh, we can't sell that. But yeah, so we can just help ourselves to one if you want. I don't know if you get to like shave it into a salt cellar on the boat and then put it on your dinner. You can make a really decent ring out of that, can you? It's cool. There's also these like color-coded maps everywhere about places that you can take your dog for a walk and places that you can't. It turns out this whole coastline is so protected that they say, please don't walk your dog here because we're trying to look after the flamingos and the turtles and they all nest in this area. And apparently dogs just really disrupt that and unsettle the poor flamingos and they stop nesting and they have to leave their nests and the poor baby flamingos don't know what to do and, you know, get really sad without their mummy flamingos. So, yeah, I haven't really seen a sign like that being like, no, you can't walk your dog here, only on the other side of the island, but I quite like the reason they're doing it. It's cool. You've chosen one.
I've got it down to two. 2 rocks of a million rocks.
They're cool.
Kind of stripey and fun. And this one is spiky and probably going to cut my finger.
I like it. We need a way to display it on Indi.
Yeah, that one probably displays better.
Yeah, I think you're right. Sits up. Do it, do it, do it. I did it! I bet that was was delightful.
It's not what you expect.
So we just came around the corner and saw these little white huts, and there's a sign here that says in the 1850s these were little huts to keep the slaves in while they worked on the salt mines just right here. So yeah, did not expect to see this here. Like a window, but it is actually the front door.
So like, there's space to stand, but maybe for like 3 people.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna guess, because the doorway is on this side, there was maybe like some sleeping area here.
How many people do you think would have slept in here? It didn't really say.
I mean, there's space. Like you cram people in this way, there's maybe 3 to 4. It's probably the size of a 3-man tent.
Yeah.
I would guess, but taller. I mean, the view is beautiful.
I know, right?
But probably not what you want to see if you spend your days stuck in a salt field.
My perspective on history is so warped because I have the whole, the photos were in black and white, then life was in black and white thing. But you look around and the houses are white and the roofs are black and, there's all this dead coral that is white. So the black and white thing is seems to me like it could still be real. And then you look out at the sea and you're like, oh yeah, it probably was exactly that same bright shade of blue 150 years ago as it is today. It just doesn't make sense to me. We are almost at the south end of the island now, and apparently that's where we can find a whole ton of flamingos. Everything here seems to be, all the businesses are named after flamingos. There's like massive statues of them everywhere. So that is our goal. I want to see if I can find some of these awesome pink birds that I now know, after seeing them in Guadeloupe, are actually real. We only just came around the corner. I thought we still had like 20 minutes to go down the coast or something, and then suddenly Ian was like, hey, stop, look over at this. We found a flamingo! And we found more of them. A lot of them are kind of far away and we're not allowed to go any closer because it's a really protected area, habitat for them. So I'm not sure how well we're going to be able to show you on the camera, but there's a couple nearby the shore and they're so beautiful! When they're feeding, they shove their head right underwater and their 2 little legs are dancing around. It's like, oh, I'm so excited, I might eat a shrimp.
All right, flamingos.
Sick!
Absolutely, yes, they exist. They're not dinosaurs. They really are these pink balloons bouncing along the landscape.
They're so funny, I love them.
However, so it is a sanctuary. We're only allowed to get so close. And of course, we arrived here to find that our proper camera, which had a nice zoom lens on it, the battery had died. So.
Sorry, there's sort of like pink smudges in the distance, but I promise you that they're there and they look lovely.
Yeah, they're lovely. And if you want to see them yourselves, they're always here, apparently. So you can make your own way here. We've given you the taster just to tease you. But they do exist, they're real. And so our batteries are doing fantastic on these bikes. I'm actually really surprised. We've made it all the way to the most southern point of the island and we're at like 70-something%. It's like...
He says 70-something because you're at 71 and I'm at 78, so I'm winning. I get to go further on the loop.
And I have to walk home. We have heard there's a nice beach actually on the windy side of the island, the windward side, the east side. So I think I reckon we're going to make it. So I think we should carry on around the corner and go back up the other side of the island.
Let's do it. find?
Wild donkeys. The island apparently has quite a few of these guys around, and they actually have a sanctuary for them somewhere as well, but they just seem to be everywhere. Like, they just roam. So it's quite cool.
It.
I think they're a bit kind of skittish of people, so I don't want to be too, like, don't want to get too close.
Yeah.
Don't upset them. But
They look so chill.
I mean, they're having a good day.
And we made it all the way around to the eastern side of the island, so we're going to go and have a look at this lagoon. I think if you dive here, this is where all of the turtles are. I think you're kind of guaranteed to see at least 10 turtles on a dive. So I don't know if we're going to see any from the surface, but maybe we'll go for a paddle.
So we just came wandering down the track from where we parked up the bikes, and this place is beautiful. Look at this lagoon. So there's like, the sea is out here, there's a breaker reef, and it's just beautifully flat down in here. So I'm surprised they don't hide more boats in here, to be honest. That's what I would do. If there's a decent storm coming, I'd definitely be inside this lagoon. Although I get it, there's turtles and there's an awful lot of windsurfing. So maybe it's nice to have this reserved for the fun of that.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hungry, thirsty.
Thirsty.
Thursday, but don't let us interrupt.
Here we go.
Oh, perfect, thank you.
Fresh lemonade.
Perfect.
Delicious.
Perfect,
Please.
thank you.
Fantastic, man. Thank you.
But anyway, guys,
Nice
enjoy
one, yeah.
your
Thank
little
you.
vacation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thanks.
We've actually just done all of the south end of the island. However, time has run away. So we probably need to hot tail it back to get these wonderful bikes back in time, because we did tell Renier that we were going to get them back before 5. He actually offered to give us like swap out batteries if we ran out of charge and things while we were going around the island, but we're just so distracted. We seem to stop all the time. So yeah, we're gonna put these things into sport mode and see how quickly we can get back to his shop. Well, it's been quite the adventure today when you think about it. We set off on these electric scooters, not really knowing what range they could do, or how fast they went, or in fact, how to ride an electric scooter. So, and I just started vlogging one-handed.
Sorry, I just saw this and I thought, wait, is this our turning? I think at some point we have to turn right so that we're like not on the same road the whole time. But I'm not sure if this is the one because I don't have a map. And you know what my sense of direction's like.
Yeah, I better check. Yeah, we turn right here.
All right, cool.
Well, that was lucky. These things are just phenomenal. I'm still on like 50% battery. So, yeah, we're gonna have no trouble at all getting back to town. We're literally cutting across the sort of middle of the island now, and that's gonna get us right back into town, and then we can give these bikes back rather, before the shop closes up and we get told off. So that's quite good. Have you had fun?
Ah, it's been so much fun. Every time we go around a corner and I see something else, I'm like, whoa, look at that, dude!
Oh yeah, our average distance between starts and stops has been like 1 kilometer. Oh, car.
Oh, car, sorry.
Yeah, I think our average distance between starts and stops has been like 1 kilometer at a time.
I keep seeing shiny things.
Stop looking at shiny things. Focus on the road.
I'm sorry, I can't really have a conversation because my basket, as wonderful as it is kind of rattly on this road. So you keep talking and all I'm hearing when I get too far away is clunk, 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 clunk. This last little bit of the day has been awesome. We're just like on our way home. I was like, yeah, we've seen flamingos. That's it. Tick those off. And then we've just got so much closer to these guys, or just on our way past. I feel like because we're on the electric bikes, they can't hear us coming, so we're not sort of scaring them quite as much. It's really cool. So we can't get any closer to them here because there's this little kind of no entry sign. I love it, it's just painted on a stone, it's great. But it means that they're proper chilled out, and I know that if they come as close to us as they want, it's on their terms. I don't feel like I'm harassing them, we just get to kind of sit here and watch them just being at home, it's great. And we made it back.
That was easily the best way to explore this island.
That was so much fun.
That's been ace. I want to take one home. We can fit one on board.
I definitely recommend using an e-scooter to any island or any city or anywhere that you ever go because, yeah, they're great.
They are seriously cool. I have to say, the green bikes Bonaire,
Oh, yeah, they do it well.
they've done it so well. This is so perfect. And if we'd run out of batteries, they'd swap it out on the day and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
really
it
cool.
fits so well with the whole vibe of Bonaire. It's all about eco and conservatism and, conservatism? Conservation.
They might be
That's the
conservatives.
thing.
We don't know, but you know, let's not
They
go down
might
that
be.
road.
They plant a tree for every bike that gets rented. They give you all the information on a downloadable offline map thing so that you can, find your
Yeah,
way
we
around.
didn't get that lost, and that's amazing for us.
Yeah, even like coming back through the city and trying to find our way through the grid system, and there was traffic, and I didn't panic too much.
I just had going through my head the whole time. I remember my cycling proficiency in P7. I did that in primary school. I remember I should be in the middle of the road. I should wave my hand to indicate my turn. We should get
Anyway.
these back because it's getting late.
Oh, we should. We got back just in time, about 10 minutes to spare. But yeah, that was very cool. Thanks, guys.
So one of the main reasons people come to Bonaire is actually right here. It is right here. People jump off the back of their boats and straight along here where you see that kind of darker blue, that is the reef. That's actually the house reef. It runs the length of the mooring field. And unlike a lot of places we've been, it's apparently incredible. Like some of the best diving you're going to get around. So we have the joy today, and I love when we get to do this. We're going to set up all of our gear right here in the cockpit, put everything on, step off the back of the boat, and just see a whole new world.
One of the reasons we were so excited to come to Bonaire was for the diving. The whole island became a national marine park in 1979, and the reef has been protected and preserved ever since. There's even a rule that boats are not allowed to anchor anywhere in the country, and that's the reason why Indi is on a mooring pole above us. There aren't many places in the Caribbean where you can see reefs like this right on your doorstep. And it was just so nice to be able to spend some time surrounded by schools of fish and soft coral.
How was that?
Oh, that was so cool. As soon as I got down, I just had this stupid grin on my face. Like, I'm happy to be here. I'm not leaving now. Like, just so many fish.
It's like an aquarium, right?
Yeah. I kept when I haven't been diving for a while, I go back in and I start looking at the reef, and then 5 minutes in, I'm like, actually, I'm not going to look at the reef. I'm just going to look up. And that sense of looking up at the surface of the water while you're surrounded by a whole ton of life, I don't know. It's really cool.
That was cool. There was a couple of big schools of fish I saw and things like that, which made it even more fun.
Yeah. And then an eagle ray at the end.
Yes.
No turtles.
He was in a bit of a
No
rush,
seahorse
no
today.
turtles. Somebody failed to find it. I got us back to the boat, which to me is always the victory. Because I turned to my buddy, keeping us safe on the dive, and said, "Are we almost home?" And she says, "I don't know where we are."
I've got absolutely no idea.
So, I got us home, and yet the one job you had,
Yeah, I failed on that one. We'll have to go diving again.
I guess I didn't have to go again. All right. That's be the fastest camera retrieval we've ever done.
So hard to go slow without wobbling.
I like how I managed to cruise in and you went to the granny walk.
Yeah, I definitely did the granny wobble.